You're listening to Hey Pal, What's New with JohnAlex and Greg. Hey Pal, What's New is a product of Sack of Sin Entertainment. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and all other social media platforms. Hey Pal, What's New can be found on Spotify, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and all other podcast locations. Or check us out at sackofsin.com or heypalwhatsnew.com. Warning, Hey Pal, What's New contains explicit content. JohnAlex and Greg are a pair of vulgar Gen Xers. If you are easily offended, please stop listening and go download a nice tame podcast like the Goop Podcast. You have been warned. Oh, that was my lucky ball and chain. Dude, how about those fucking Cure tickets? What a load of shit. Hey everybody, it's Hey Pal, What's New?
Are we live?
We are fucking live. That's what I was telling you, you dumb son of a bitch.
I'm sitting there going, so when do we start? Hey, top of the morning to you, fucks. It's Hey Pal, What's New?
You savage bastards.
You caught us. It's the fourth wall. You saw what we do, which isn't much anyway. But yeah, welcome. It's Friday night. It's St. Paddy's Day. We're a little bit late because the drunker you are, the better we sound. And that goes for both podcast, music.
And your mom.
And my mom. So yeah, man. I'm Greg, and that's JohnAlex over there. And we're
I'm busy trying to find your little picture thing.
My little thing on the fly there that I sent over because, to quote the great Bugs Bunny, could you help out a fellow man who's down on his luck? Fellow American.
Pardon me, Mac, but could you help out a fellow American who's down on his luck?
Yeah. Hit the road. Yeah, so it's Friday night, St. Patrick's Day. Hope you all ate your corned beef and your cabbage and you put your green stuff on. I don't have anything that's green.
No.
Except my teeth. Except my teeth.
Except my envy.
Yeah, and I think, I do have my avocado underwear on, so that counts. Anyway.
There we go.
So, yeah, hope you're all enjoying that. I'm going to put this right out here in the beginning of the show. Anybody who's on live, who's watching us, if you comment under our picture, whether it's YouTube, and you hit yourself in the face with a piece of corned beef, I will send you a T-shirt. I will pay for it out of my own pocket. So, please. Anybody that's out there.
You'll get a first gen made by us T-shirt.
That's right. You'll get a T-shirt of your size if you post a video of yourself either hitting yourself in the face with a piece of corned beef or hitting somebody else in the face with corned beef. Even better. Cabbage, you could probably throw some of that in too. If you're a vegan like my friend over here, you might want to do some cabbage on there. So
some corned beef seitan.
Yeah, so did you have your vegan corned beef?
Nope.
No, nothing? I had it on Monday and Tuesday.
Nary a potato to be found.
No, not a tater. Not a tater at all, huh? Oh, that's right, you can eat potatoes, can't you? Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just can't put
I mean, they may have eyes, but they don't have souls.
How very true.
Hey, look, I want to get right to this. We had our very first Sack of Sin showcase.
Yes, we're going to talk in depth about it, how it went. Thank everybody for it.
As part of my Hey Pal, What's New, that's for you in honor of our first little showcase.
Oh, a gift?
A gift to commemorate the day.
Oh, my goodness. It is a Ronnie James Dio with a Hey Pal, What's New shirt on.
That's right.
That is amazing, dude. I love it.
It's amazing what you could do with a Sharpie.
Yeah, and I'm taking it out of the package. I'm not
one
of those.
I had to take it out of the package to do that.
Thank you, my good
You want
friends.
a fucking Ronnie James Dio on your desk.
I'm going to take them right out of the package here. Right now, all the collectors, Justin is like twitching.
No. Well, it's funny because Justin was telling me that they're Pop has the wave has come and gone for Pop figures. Like
are they
Beanie
going,
Babies.
I was just
They're
going to say.
going the way of the Beanie Baby.
Are they really in the Pogs?
Yep. And he said they have so much stock in their warehouses that what they're doing is they're basically throwing them out because it's cheaper to take the loss on throwing them out than paying for the warehouse space to store all his back stock of Pop figures.
Yeah, I mean, I love Funko Pops and all that. It's getting a little ridiculous, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just walls and walls of all different kinds. I mean, it's cool because you can get anything you want. Like,
You can make custom ones.
Yeah. Like, I have the one that I got that looks like me. It's Seymour from Little Shop of Horrors.
Yep.
I have my one from Trick or Treat because I bought an orange car, and I'm like, yeah, because I used to have the Deadpool on my red one. So I'm like, what do I get for an orange one? I was like, I can get like a pumpkin thing, but it's not going to be in season. I was like, the Trick or Treat guy, Sam from Trick or Treat.
Sam.
He's glued onto my dashboard.
Nice.
So I love the Funko Pops. But yeah.
I got to adjust your lighting.
Yeah, I'm like.
You're glowing like a
Talk about an Irishman.
You're
glowing
like the ball on New Year's Eve.
I'm going to like catch on
there
fire.
There we go.
There, yeah. Yeah. I don't want to catch on fire like one of my good friends who lives out in Arizona. He's a redhead. He's a ginger.
Oh, no soul.
His wife is a ginger, and his two kids are ginger as could be. And I love them all. But I'm like, how do you live in Arizona? Do you catch on fire?
Really? Well, apparently, genetically, gingers are predisposed to be able to tolerate more pain.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Kind of like if you hit a midget in the head, he turns into 50 gold coins. You didn't know that?
No.
That's a Patton Oswalt. That's a Patton Oswalt thing. Speaking of which, so yeah, I guess our Hey Pal what's new would be about our successful showcase.
Well,
that
also everybody needs to know we're a little we're like an hour late because you know. CatDad.
That's right.
You had to go take care of the cats.
Oh, my God.
Kate's like, why does he have to go up to take care of the cats? I was like, I'm going to assume that Manal is working all day and night because it's St. Patrick's Day.
Yes. Well, she usually works really late on the weekends, you know, because she's a chef. And, you know, this one here, which I could put right up to the camera.
Oh, smooch. Oh, what?
Ticketmaster. Get cold tickets. I'm not getting fucking cold tickets.
Oh.
Look at that face. I mean, come on. How could you not? She's been having, and I'm going to talk to your other half about that she's been her eyes have been really goopy and crusty and like I mean, she's a Scottish fold, so that tends to happen.
She got the conjunctivitis.
Yeah. I think Scott Baio gave her pink eye. So the poor cat has been home all day, and my girl, Manal, was very concerned that, you know, she's our little baby. So
the baby.
I said, yeah, I'll drive all the way there and clean her eyes out.
Holy ball and chain.
Wow. There's a difference.
I was waiting for a moment to play that one.
There's a difference, all right? When it's reciprocated, it's okay. But I digress.
That's right.
Yes. That's right.
In case you didn't know, that's Robin from Batman.
Oh.
Holy ball and chain.
When I was downloading that, I was like, oh, I gotta grab Holy Ball and Chain. So the first time one of us says something about our significant other, it's gonna be like, all right, ball and chain time.
Holy ball and chain. I just love the freaking.
They have a whole list of all the like, you know, holy hole in a donut.
Oh yeah, that's the famous one. But yeah, so anyway, I was cat taking care of the cats, took care of them, drove over here, and you know, now we're here, and we're gonna dazzle you with all kinds of stuff, movies, TV, music. A lot of music news this week. Not new releases, but some interesting news.
Yeah.
But speaking of music, we did have our Sack of Sin showcase, our first one. And we just wanted to thank everybody who showed up. It was a big crowd. All the bands did well, except mine. No, I'm kidding. We did great. All the bands sounded cool, and it was just so nice to have a bunch of bands that we really like together and play in front of a crowd. Who would have thought? Yeah, it was definitely it's a work in progress.
It is.
I'm really excited about the summer one we're going to do,
Yes.
which we're planning as we speak. It's going to be an outdoor summer extravaganza with food trucks and fire trucks and guns and hookers and all kinds of stuff.
Damn.
But we're going to get a lot more of the Sack of Sin roster on there. We just added another band to the roster.
Okay.
Who is 49 Feet High, I believe they're called. Great band, two-piece band. They're on there. You know, the Interplanetary Terror, Cosmic Error. It's always tough to say that one. Yeah, Spike Polite. There's so many really good bands on there. So, like, for the summer one, it's definitely going to be more Sack of Sin focused, and it's going to be a humdinger. If we're planning it as we speak, so be on the lookout for that. So, how did you feel about the whole night in general? I've been talking like a motherfucker.
You have.
Mm-hmm.
I thoroughly enjoyed most of it.
But yeah, it was all kind of, everything was kind of figuring it out as we went along. But all in all, some great bands, great night. Thank you, everybody who came and participated. People even donated and didn't even show up, which is fine.
I honestly would have loved to have seen the Moonlight Initiative go on second. I said to them, I was like, you guys never disappoint, man.
No. I mean, all the bands especially were on their A game, Yeah, I mean, definitely there was one band that is not on the roster, but they were really nice guys, good band, brought a ton of people. So thank you to me as Facelift for playing. They were great.
Yes.
So they brought a big crowd. Everybody, all the bands in general were just like really supportive of each other, and it wasn't a competition. Nope. It wasn't anything like that. Like, we had played, the Critically Ashamed played, and we had like one practice before that. We hadn't been together in like 6 months, but we did okay.
Absolutely.
And, people enjoyed it. We had a crowd, which is kind of the biggest crowd we've played for in a while. So people hung out. And I was getting off, and then Alter Ego, the band that closed the night, came on. And, normally like, hey, good show. Good show. Good. And this, I think it was the singer or somebody, which, by the way, that song, Who's Your Daddy?
Who's Your Daddy?
It's been stuck in my head
I can't find it anywhere.
It's not on Spotify or anything?
Is the name of the song Who's Your Daddy, or is that just like the hook in it? I
don't know. We're going to investigate.
They have an album on Spotify. But I went through all the songs that were on there and did not see that.
I mean,
and it took me a sec because I forgot that it was ALTAR.
Yep.
Ego, not alter.
And I told Manal too, and she was getting pissed at me because I kept saying it. But I was like, damn, I should have got that shirt. They had the Alter Ego shirt with Who's Your Daddy on the back. I was like, damn it, why didn't I get? So Alter Ego, if you're out there, really cool guys, really good band. Send us a shirt. We'll send you one back.
That's right.
The more X's, the better for me. But anyway, I digressed when I got off the stage, and I was kind of out of sorts because of the sound thing, and I'm too overcritical of myself. I'm walking off, and I think it was the guitar player because we were switching amps. He goes, yeah, man, great. Thank you for having this, and thank you for having. I said, no problem. I'm looking forward to you. He goes, I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you.
And I was like, I appreciate you too.
Okay.
Yeah, but everybody, even, the singer from Me as Facelift came up and was just like, really cool, and just everybody was really cool. So
yeah. Alter Ego has one album up on Spotify, Lit and Late. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 songs on it.
Mm-hmm.
Trapped in Love, All Night Long, Love Never Dies, You Call This Livin', and One Shot.
You Call This Livin'.
Yeah.
Well, we'll definitely put one on the Sack
on the playlist.
The Hey Pal What's New 2023 playlist. I added some stuff in there too. So,
dude, I don't know if you follow on Facebook. Did you see my post last night? So apparently, 0.6, less than 1% of the population is AB negative blood type. They're referred to as like golden blood.
Yes,
because it's like the universal plasma donor.
Yes, I saw that post.
And it turns out both of my daughters have AB negative.
Wow. Well, that's the one you always see in the movies when they're
Yeah.
like, he's got AB negative. You
Hey,
know?
let's get and then I go to work and I'm telling my co-teacher this, and she's like, "Oh, I may be negative as well." I was like, "All right, get away! Everybody, get away from me! Am I giving everybody AB negative?
Hey, man, start donating
Better
those
than
pints.
the HIV positive, I guess."
Exactly.
Shit.
As
I'm
our
going to
man
hell.
Mike Stolper always says, give me that toilet seat cover. I don't want to catch the HIV. I was like, I don't think that's how it works.
And I spent today with the boys. Well, one of the people from Vascular Vomit Records. Over on the dark side of Sack of Sin.
Yes,
As if the Sack of Sin could have a darker side.
There is the division, the Sack of Sin Black Label.
That's right, Black Label. Making a silkscreen today for one of the bands under the Vascular Vomit label.
Really?
Yeah.
When it comes to the roster, we like to put on bands that we enjoy. Doesn't necessarily have to be my particular brand of vodka, but you know, hey, if
Well, that would be no brand of vodka.
That's true. But anyway, anything else you want to talk about in the what's new category? Anything else going on with?
Oh, you mean the news?
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry. I'm not.
John, you got any news?
Yeah, it's my brother's birthday.
Yay! Happy birthday, Fred.
He is in France, I believe. We come from France. Not a huge amount of news that I really cared about this week, but what I found very interesting was apparently there's a rumor that James Gunn is going to direct DC's Superman reboot.
Yeah, it's confirmed.
So, I mean, he couldn't do any worse than some other people.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to be. You know, that's the first one that's going to come out.
Yeah.
I also heard an article with Ben Affleck talking
He's
about
saying he's done.
He's like,
he won't come back no matter who's at the helm.
and you know what? I don't blame him for that because he
neither.
had such a horrible experience. He was discussing, and it was on comicbookmovie.com, which if you don't follow those guys, I mean, please, you know, if you're into this geek stuff, definitely do that.
Hold on, let me cross that news off my list. Ben Affleck.
Yeah, so yeah, he had talked about like that being like his worst experience with the whole like he's down with the Snyder, but you know, as far as old kid toucher, the other one.
Oh boy.
Well, I can't even remember his name now, but that's when he really started to drink and he started getting out of control and he was depressed. So why would you want to revisit that? Yeah. So anyway, to the whole Ben Affleck thing. Yeah, he not only is Jamie. Yeah, and I feel for someone like that, like I think he's more in the he got such a beating on Daredevil.
Oh yeah.
Then he became Batfleck, and people were like, even though I loved him in that role. Right? Then that whole thing with Justice League, and he's just like, and what sucks is that James Gunn was on Twitter being like, yeah, we had a meeting. It sounds great. I think he's going to be involved. And Ben Affleck's like, fuck no.
Fuck you.
Not even to the point of like, I'm not interested in all these different factors. He kind of snuck it in where he was just like, I don't like the direction Gunn is going.
Yeah.
Like they're buds, they're fine, but I don't know. But yeah, Superman.
Also, Disney Plus, I know you don't care about this, but apparently the Disney Plus series Willow did not get a second season.
I heard.
I have mixed feelings about it. The first season was okay. I mean, it wasn't. You know why I was excited to watch the first season? Because at one point Mila started watching it, so it was one of those things where like we both watch it and talk about it.
If you can find a show that you can watch with your kids and discuss it, of course you're gonna do it.
Yeah, like Mila and I watched every episode of Last of Us together except for the last one. She was mad at me on that, but it's because she went to go see Scream, which I hear is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I know. There's so many movies out right now.
Shazam's out today.
Shazam is out. Scream
Which
6.
Justin gives it a raving endorsement that he loves it. He said it's on par with just about any Marvel movie out there. And I was like, fuck you.
That's a bold claim.
Yeah.
You know, and what's the criticism I've only heard about. I mean, a lot of people have said it's probably not going to do well box office wise.
Right.
But everybody's kind of saying it's not a train wreck. It's good. But the whole post-credit scene that got leaked in a TV spot.
What's the post-credit scene?
You might want to hit the spoiler. So anyway,
Cut that out
did
in post.
come out. It did come out in a post-credit, in a TV spot where they basically showed the post-credit scene of Wonder Woman's in it, Gal Gadot.
Oh.
where basically she read. I don't want to completely spoil it for you. I mean, I'm sure
I didn't even see it.
Well, she basically comes in to save the day in like a post-credit end scene, and everybody's like, "What?" Oh, it's her friend Addison too. Violet and Addison are going to have a conversation on our live chat while we chat. But
Good for them.
Yeah.
I'll take any listener I can get,
exactly.
even if they're in a prison.
That's right.
The last little bit of news, which is kind of annoying, is apparently Loki season 2 is delayed past this summer. It was supposed to be this summer, so now they're pushing it off again. But that seems par for the course with everything that's getting pushed off for various reasons, known and unknown.
Yeah, I think it's because Marvel's getting a little gun shy. Like they're just like pumping the brakes on a lot of stuff.
Well, yeah, because they're realizing like, okay, we're not putting out stuff that's on par with what we've put out in the past. The quality of like what we're delivering is falling off.
Yeah, I was actually on the way here. I was listening to one of my YouTube shows, Cody Leach, which I give a shout out to him. He does a really good job with, and he discussed the latest Shazam movie, and he's just like, it's good, but like I think we're all starting to get like that superhero movie fatigue. Like they even with Marvel, where it's like they built it up. All of a sudden, it's like Endgame, like, and after Endgame, everybody's just like, well, shit, what are we gonna do now? All right, well, they're throwing out the third string, you know. Are you trying to suggest that Marvel has been edging us for the past 10 years?
Pretty much, yeah. They have been.
But anyway, yeah, I think we're just at the point now where it's just like, unless a superhero movie is gonna freaking blow my mind, I'm like, all right.
But you know what? Look at the things that are blowing your mind now. They're not those superhero movies that are like fucking just bang, smash, fight, all that kind of stuff, heavy on CGI. In recent years, and we've talked about this, the more intriguing properties to me are the things that actually have a story worth watching. Mm-hmm. The Wolverine movie.
Yep.
Logan.
Yeah. Like
things like that. And I know I always go to that, but like it's the perfect example. It's like we're not going to lean heavy into CGI and all this other shit. We're going to give you a good story that you're going to like, and you're going to be invested in it emotionally and...
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a $200 million movie.
Nope.
Make a $50 million, gritty freaking, like perfect example. The ones that, like we keep saying, that are really resonating are the Logans and the first Deadpool. Yeah. And like stuff like the Batman. The Batman.
And even to a degree, the second Deadpool was a little more polished, which kind of like, it lost that grittiness, like you said, that we kind of like loved of the first one, but not so much so that we're like, I don't like it. Yeah, I mean, it's a movie I've watched multiple times.
Sure. Yeah, I'm super excited for Deadpool 3. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Like I'm even at the point too where it's just like I'm not like I used to get super excited for a comic book movie.
Like tonight. I would normally have gone to see... I didn't even know Shazam was out today. How about that one?
Well, March has been pretty stacked, yeah, but...
I would have been at the theater watching it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Opening night, Thursday night, you'd be like, I don't want to get spoiled. I have to see this. I have to see it right away, kind of like Star Wars and stuff like that. But, like, even like we went to Wakanda Forever, we were like, Ant-Man was like, everything basically in Phase 3, or was it Phase 4? Phase 4. Was just and the DC stuff, it's like, Black Adam, Shazam, everybody's just like, it's good. It's not like reinventing the wheel. I mean, it's just spectacle now. Like
it's like when you're a band that was like, this wasn't good enough to make it to the album, but we're going to play it here live for you tonight. Yeah. And I feel like that's what we're getting from these movies, is from Marvel, is like, look, this isn't our A game, but we got to put something out there to keep interest. Here's I don't know. Here's a veggie burger for you.
They're resting on their laurels. Yeah. If you're a fan of the movie Any Given Sunday, they're at Willie Beamer territory.
Oh, God.
They're on third string at this point, Yep. The first two quarterbacks get hurt. All right, throw up Willie Beamer. I love that movie. That's an underrated classic.
John, you got any news? Let me have a Diablo sandwich of Dr. Pepper. Make it fast. I'm in a goddamn hurry.
I sent you that picture. I saw it
Yes.
online. Just to add to the only movie thing that I trailer, if we want to get into trailers. Well, no, it was actually more news. Remember I told you about that movie Fall?
Yeah.
That I saw?
Yeah.
It's getting a sequel.
You know, it's getting a spin-off cheesy ripoff.
What?
Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Shark.
I
I watched the trailer and it's like look, you were saying not to backtrack too much, but we were talking about the quality of what we're getting and simple stories and whatnot. But like,
yeah,
dude, when we get to new stuff and I talk about Gotham Knights, what a fucking anyway.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw that before and I posted it on the Hey Pal What's New Facebook.
Why does Fall need a sequel? Didn't she fall?
No, she survived.
Oh.
Spoiler alert.
Oh shit.
But that movie, I mean, like I said in my review of it, like them climbing up the tower was like really like, oh my, like I started getting the willy, like your legs get all freaking fawny and stuff.
Right.
But in general, it was just a stupid movie. But
you get that scared tingle in your taint.
yes.
Oh boy.
Oh, it was definitely like if I had to see that
about it.
if I had to see that in the theater, I'd be like, oh my god. But apparently it
Maybe I'll watch it on the Oculus.
it was entertaining enough. It was stupid as all hell. If you go back and listen to the review of it on the past episode, but somebody made a comment, if this new one isn't called Fell, I'm going to be really mad. But
fucking genius.
it was a $3 million movie and it made $25 million and they're like, sequel. I'm like, oh god. But Jeffrey D. Morgan, I think he needed a new car or something to get in that movie. Oh, God.
How much did the movie cost him to make?
$3 million.
And 2 of it was for Jeffrey.
Seriously, and he was in it for like 10 minutes.
Wow.
But yeah, that
was
was
in the back end. I mean, on the back end.
yeah, that was the only other one I saw. So as far as what do you want to do? Movies, TV?
I don't care.
I didn't see a lot of movies. I only did a back in the day. Not back in the day. I did a Late to the Party.
There we go.
Hey, how y'all doing there? This is a great party. I love your hair over there. Hey, I just checked out this new movie that was on the HBO Max Prime. Have you ever seen that brand new movie, Goodfellas?
Fuck, I offered you a chance when we could have done something, and you blew it! You blew it!
Ladies and gentlemen, Hey Pal What's New presents Late to the Party.
That's a long one.
Yeah, that is.
No wonder we don't play it often.
Well, yeah, because it was a whole beginning to an episode.
It's like an homage.
Believe it or not,
And I appreciate you.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate you too. I've never seen Zombieland Double Tap. Never.
Oh, no?
I've never seen the
Fucking
movie.
Great movie.
I woke up this morning.
As good as the sequel.
Yes.
I mean, as good as the original.
And don't get me wrong, I loved the first Zombieland. For some reason, when Double Tap came out, I was like, yeah, I'll get around to it. I never saw it. And I woke up this morning and I just put on the TV and I flipped through the movies and I'm like, oh, Zombieland Double Tap is on. I was like, I've never seen that. So I put that on and watched it. God dang, it was a great movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I just love the whole, Woody Harrelson.
I feel like they're thinking about a third one, too.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how well it did in the theater and stuff, but like,
Not very.
yeah, I mean, it was a good premise. It was cool to see. Like I said, I was super late to the party. I've never saw it. It was just one of those movies where it's like, oh yeah, I never did see that. Let me watch it. And I loved it. It was great. I love Woody Harrelson in that role. What's his name?
$125 million.
Okay.
All right, not too shabby.
On a budget of what?
It had a budget of about $48 million and did $125 million.
Not
So,
bad. Not too shabby.
I'll take that.
No, but it was a good movie. It was good. Like I was like, okay, so now I can check that one off my list. Other than that, really, I only have been watching. And I did peek on your notes there, and I think we are.
In sync on something?
We are in sync. I think we've both seen something. I dove into the comedy specials.
Oh yeah.
There's 2 that I watched.
So well, movies wise, you saw Zombieland Double Tap.
Yep.
And I watched fucking Cocaine Bear. He's so good.
Oh, I know. I've been wanting to see. You know what's funny? It's available to stream like now.
Yeah, I know.
It was just like
as soon as it was available to stream, it was also available to download.
yes. By the way, yes.
Anyway,
it never did come up on mine. So hey there, there's my cat mommy.
Oh, you didn't? It didn't come up on yours?
No, that's
Okay.
all right.
I'll double check that.
I also, if you're a Verizon Fios subscriber, The Whale, you can actually watch for free. Who doesn't want to see a big, huge, fat Brendan Fraser jerk off?
I'll watch any Brendan Fraser jerk off.
Phaser. Is it Phaser? Fraser.
Back in the news for that really quick, because it reminded me, there's still all this to do about the fact that, he wore a fat suit and they should pick a person who's fat for that role or whatever.
Fucking stop.
And someone goes, why would you want someone fat to do that role? Like, having someone fat do that role is not called acting.
No.
The whole thing is like, he's not a fat guy, and the fact that he can do that is what makes his portrayal of that so good.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? If you want to be on something, go on My 600-Pound Life.
That's right.
And just, there's an avenue for you. Let the Brendan, let the Fish. I mean,
yeah.
We didn't even talk about the Oscars.
Yeah.
The Oscars. Everything won all at once.
Yeah.
It was great. Short Round gave Indiana Jones a hug.
Aww.
And Jamie Lee Curtis. That's all I saw. Then I was like, hey, man, The Last of Us finale is on. Fuck this shit. My mom was like, you going to watch the Oscars, aren't you? I said, I'll catch the highlights. The Last of Us finale is on.
That's right. So, yeah, Cocaine Bear was so good.
I'm dying
And
to
you
see
know
it.
what? At the end, I was like, oh, fuck. Because, dedicated to our friend Ray Liotta. And I was like, oh, my God, that's right. Ray Liotta died.
That was his last movie.
No, he was filming another movie when he died.
Oh, was he?
I don't know if they ever finished it or if they're going to ever release it, but he was in the midst of filming something else when he died. But he was so good in it. It was so funny. I was waiting, and he kind of did. The guy who plays the mayor from The Wire, I was waiting for him to go, she.
Oh, yeah.
But at one point when he, spoilers, hold on. I'm going to go with the. When he's dying, he's like, oh, shit. But he doesn't do the shit.
Yeah. That's another movie was it 25th Hour?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, that's a great movie. So there's a lot of Late to the Parties you guys can watch. I mean, 25th Hour is, little Ed Norton. And he's one of the detectives, and he's like, what's on the thing? Shit.
Yeah, I give Cocaine Bear 4 pals.
Really? Nice.
I really liked it so much. It was so much fun. It was good fun, and what I've heard, I saw exactly what they were talking about. The actors themselves didn't go outrageous because a fucking bear on cocaine is outrageous enough. We don't need you doing over the top with the roles and just fucking people getting ripped apart, legs getting ripped off. Fucking bear doing a line of cocaine off of an dismembered leg. It's seriously.
I mean, you don't go into Cocaine Bear looking for Amadeus, right?
No.
You're just going in there. Now, I want to ask one question. I will watch it this weekend. That's on my weekend watch. Did Ray Liotta mention anything about they never would have found it, Karen? That would have been perfect.
I don't know. He didn't.
That would have been great. They never would have found it, Karen.
So that's
because they're dumping the
movie.
cocaine in the toilet.
That's
Come on.
Right.
Anyway, yeah. So that's good. Cocaine Bear. Mm-hmm. Get a bump off that. Yeah. So that was the only new movie that you saw.
Yeah.
Now you did
TV.
see some.
I saw some shit.
Yeah. So I guess the comedy specials would be under the TV, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's where I put it.
Yeah, because I saw 2. Which one did you see?
Bert Kreischer.
Razzle Dazzle.
Razzle Dazzle, dude. I was howling.
I was too. I mean, I was at Manal's, and I said we have to.
And
watch
as predictable as it was when he's talking about the auction,
yeah,
and he's like, by the fourth one, the shirt came off, and he goes, and someone in the back goes, who the fuck is this guy? And the coke guy comes out and goes, he's the machine. Even though I knew it was coming, I was still fucking howling at that.
The man can tell a story, and I love one of my favorite comedy. One of my favorite types of comedy is storytelling.
Oh, storytelling.
Jim Brewer, Bert Kreischer, stuff like that. Always get, and when he talks about his family in the escape room.
Oh my God. He weaves a tapestry when he's fucking crawling and he farts and his dad. And it's like,
you should go to he actually said, you should go to the hospital. You should see a doctor.
And the daughter is like, "This is what you want. This is what you want. You wanted this," and how he brings it right back around. Happy birthday. I was just shitting. Oh, it was so good.
What do they call him? Baby Walrus?
Baby Walrus. And I think about that, and I'm like, I do that. I'm always like, oh, yes.
Yeah.
Like a walrus.
Oh, I mean,
not for cure tickets, though.
No. We're going to get into that in the music news, definitely. Yeah, I mean...
What was the comedy special you saw?
Well, I saw Razzle Dazzle, and I also watched the...
Razzle Dazzle.
Razzle Dazzle. And I also saw the new Chris Rock one.
Oh, I watched that, too.
Great.
Holy, no, not as funny as Burt Kreischer. It was funny.
No, it was a different kind of... Well, I mean, they're two different styles. Yeah. But, of course, everybody watched the Chris Rock one to see what the... I mean... Yeah, I mean, you knew he was going to address the whole Will Smith thing, and it was just like, talk about...
Raw dogged it.
Because
his thing is, what can Will Smith say? You fucking assaulted me.
Yeah.
You sit down, you keep your mouth shut, and you let me make my fucking jokes.
And he didn't say anything. That's the worst thing to do. Like, for him to slap a comedian of, like, Chris Rock stature.
Oh, yeah.
And he took a year. Didn't comment anything about it. Waited, did a live special, which I put right up there with Bring the Pain. It was really good. And then at the end, he just annihilates Will Smith. Good for him. I thought it was great.
He bent Will Smith over the couch while Jada watched.
That's right. That bald-headed bastard.
Oh. Can we say G.I. Jane 2?
Yeah.
Wait, I just want to get a smack from Will Smith. That's all.
Yeah. You better keep my wife's name out your goddamn mouth. Well, we know. We're trying to be better with the cursing. I don't know why.
I don't know either. So the other things, shows, I'll go with the fucking turd in the room. Gotham Knights. Oh, my God.
I will say my bestie always takes a bullet.
Oh, dude, I equate it. You know what it was? It literally looked like a fucking YouTube fan film. All cheesy, and you look like the dead Bruce Wayne in the Batman mask on the street, and it's like, that looks like the Batman mask you buy from fucking Spirit Halloween. Like, if you're making a fan film, you get like the best quality one you can from like Spirit Halloween or from some costume shop.
Sure.
You don't get Hollywood production quality masks and shit.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it looked like. All the like video graphics and the Joker's daughter, like how heavy they leaned into like all that shit. And it sucks because it's like the whole thing centers around the Court of Owls. And I'm like, that, I mean...
Well, I mean, rumor has it that the second Batman, Matt Reeves one's going to be about the Court of Owls.
Good, because I need to wash this fucking AIDS-infected penis taste out of my mouth.
I mean... I didn't think that was coming out. Like, I thought Warner Brothers was like, screw this. This show stinks.
It's another one of those like, well, we got this thing. What should we fucking? Well, let's just put it out. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of. And they already did Gotham for a couple of seasons, which, it had its good points.
It did.
I mean, it got a little bit too much on the. We talk about the nostalgia thing where they go like, you know what that is?
Yeah.
You better watch out. Hey, stop with all those riddles. Look, who's that?
And they do some of that in Gotham Knights. It's just not.
Yeah,
so.
I did like their portrayal of the Penguin in Gotham.
Yes.
Yeah, he was really
too.
good.
He was great.
The Joker one, not so much. Stick with Fallen Order.
Do you have any new TV? Because I got two more, so.
New TV? No.
All right,
I have
so
the
next
the
gold-plated
usual.
turd. You want it?
Give it to me.
That show, I started watching, I got about 20 minutes into the first episode and said, nah.
No,
nope.
Not for you?
No. Swarm.
It's
on Amazon on Prime.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be this good, like, apocalyptic, the Earth thing. And it's like, what took me out of it, I couldn't watch. First off, the thing is like, there's this guy goes out fishing. He throws his net. The net gets pulled down. He's like, I got to retrieve my net. Dives into the water from his little, like, wicker boat or whatever. And a fucking swarm of fish surround him and kill him.
Okay.
So what is this? The fish fight back hard? Okay, don't go in the water, everybody. But
watch out for that cocaine shark.
I should have known when I watched it because like the title thing comes up and it's like Das Swarm, and I'm like, is this fucking in German? If this is German dubbed over, I'm out. And then they started and people were talking. And I'm like, it feels like it's dubbed, but like their mouth is actually saying the English things. And the nearest I could figure was they went, okay, in German, they say, person, your line is, I got some funny activity on the radar. Okay? In English, I've got some funny activity on the radar. Say, I've got some funny activity on the radar. And it was like that. It was like it was badly dubbed.
Wow.
It was so bad.
I mean, if it was German, I mean, there are things like a lot of the Korean horror stuff where it's dubbed, or it's Squid Game. Like, you can either watch it subtitled. I mean, we're all adults here, kids. I mean,
are we?
I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, Das Swarm.
Das Swarm.
Ich bin Ausländer und spreche nicht gut Deutsch.
The last show I watched, I was kind of on the fence at first, but now I think I'm all in on this show.
Ooh.
It's a very, like, teeny type show.
Okay.
So it's called School Spirits.
School Spirits.
The whole premise of the show is this girl is killed. We don't see her get killed. Like, all of a sudden you realize, oh, she's a ghost on her high school property. She was killed at the school.
I think I heard about this.
And then, I don't know if I talked about it in the past. I might have.
No.
And then there's all these other people at the school who are ghosts who died on school grounds for one reason or another.
I think I saw the trailer.
And then there was one, made me laugh. It was the marching band. They came back from, like, regional championships, and on the way in the parking lot, the bus tipped over, and like 6 of them or 7 of them died in the accident on school grounds.
Oh,
so they're destined for the rest of eternity to, like, march in a circle doing their championship routine.
Oh my God, that must be the worst.
And then this latest episode, they commented about the fact that, like, yeah, I think it'd be okay, but the problem is the drum majors were killed too.
Oh jeez.
So now you got the drum majors there going like, what is wrong with you? Rehearse this. This is not what I call championship material.
That reminds me of that scene in Beetlejuice when the football team comes in. They get, stop calling me coach. So, coach, does that mean we're dead?
And I didn't even touch on that one. They are doing the Beetlejuice too.
Electric Boogaloo.
So
yeah, we'll see about
so
that.
The show's school. So she's killed on the grounds. It's all about her trying to solve her murder, and then all of a sudden she discovers that, like, her, like, bestest friend, her bestest friendies,
Her BFF?
he can see her, but the only times he can see her is when they are both in a place where someone died at the school. So, like, one of the classrooms was the old guidance office where someone was killed. So she can see him. They can communicate with each other in that room. So he's trying to help her solve her murder and all this other stuff. I at first I was like, it was kind of cheesy.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with cheese.
It was very like a YouTube series kind of show. I don't even know what it's on.
Sometimes you want a nice cookie.
Oh, it's on the Paramount.
Paramount Plus.
It's on Paramount Plus because my mother asked me about it, and I was telling her about it, and I was like, she's like, well, where is it? I like that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I know, that's why I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And I was like, hold on, let me look. I was like, oh, it's on Paramount Plus. She goes, oh, you put me on your Paramount Plus. Okay. Shh, Paramount Plus. My mom's not using my Paramount Plus account.
Yeah, good luck, Netflix, with your password sharing.
Oh, my God. Fucking people are ridiculous. So that's all I got on TV.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the big one that I watched was just obviously The Last of Us, the finale.
Oh, so we'll talk not new, but good.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely, from what I understand, it was verbatim from the video game.
Well, yes, and it's always cool that first off, no secret here that the woman running in the forest, Ellie's mom, is the girl who does the voice of Ellie in the game, who's also on Critical Role.
Yes.
She's on a lot of stuff. I could go down a list. And I don't know if you know this one, in the doctor's office when he kills the doctor.
Yeah.
The one nurse who stand there who talks is the voice of the girl from the second game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm loving that they put these voice actors in roles, not the role that they did in the video game, but like the guy who did the voice of Joel was the right-hand man for the pedophile dude.
The whole time Mila and I were like, Joel!
And you can kind of look at him and you're like, okay, yeah, he does look like the video game one. Not as, gruff or whatever. But, yeah, I mean, what can you say? I mean, that whole series in general was just great. Now, I also heard, too, that they're teasing that, like, well, the second season is, obviously they're going to cover The Last of Us Part 2, but, like, I don't think it's going to be one season, though. I think they're going to kind of spread it out, add a lot more stuff to it, because You had said, and I've heard other people say that, you know, the second one is very divisive.
Yes, because the first half you're playing as Ellie, and then the second half you're playing as, I can't remember the girl's name. And she is the doctor who gets killed. I think she's his daughter.
Yes.
And that's why she goes after Joel and fucking curb stomps his head into
That's
oblivion.
right. Yeah, we discussed that.
Spoil, play the fucking video game from 5 years ago.
Whoops. Whoopsie daisy. But, you know, like I said, I think they're definitely going to expand a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think they
Well,
had
that second game is ripe for that because they can do an entire season that's the first half,
yeah.
and then boom, cliffhanger, and now we're dealing with the other girl.
Yeah. I mean, just talking about, you know, I did, you know, obviously get spoiled with the second part, so I know that Joel eats it, you know, and he eats it pretty early.
Oh yeah, very early.
So it'll be interesting what they do because I mean, Pedro is freaking blowing
but
up.
it's genius because the second game, and I never really thought about it, and I'm sure Justin's gonna be like, "I told you that." You're emotionally invested in Ellie and Joel, and then when the girl look it up.
I think it is Anna.
Anna kills. We're gonna go with Anna. If I'm wrong, I'll admit it. When Anna kills Joel, right? You're like that fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Right? You're so pissed, and then they make you play as her.
Yeah.
So now you're like, I gotta play as this bitch, and that's why I quit. I was like, I can't. This is the fucking bitch who killed Joel. But like, they make you play as her, and it's not right away, but they make you play as her, and then the more you play as her, you start to sympathize with her.
Yeah.
To the point where, like, in the end, you're fighting Ellie, and you're like, I just want Ellie to kill this bitch because she killed Joel, but like, I'm starting to feel for her, and you're like torn. You're emotionally torn between who am I going to be.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they're definitely gonna.
that's where it's ripe for 2 seasons: the Ellie part, and then the third season could be Annie's story.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up now.
Annie's mac and cheese.
Is it Abby?
Abby something.
Abby Normal.
Abby Normal.
I think it's Abby.
Okay.
So, whatever. But yeah, two Last of Us Part 2, Ellie and Abby.
And Abby.
Okay, yeah. So
Abby.
So yeah, I mean that, and you said you didn't. Oh well,
I watched Mandalorian.
Gotta talk Mando.
Mando. You know, at first this episode, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" But then, as I watched it the second time, as I do, I saw the whole fucking genius of that guy being betrayed, and I'm wondering, like, is she cranking that shit up to mind flay him, and then she'll be able to use him in the Snoke cloning process, like cloning program?
Yeah, I mean, I think
that's the long game.
Yeah, I think she's definitely working with Moff Gideon still.
Oh yeah,
and she totally, that poor guy got set up. I mean, the guy. Excuse me. First
and
of all,
we're watching the Rise of the First Order like live here.
And you know what? That's the type of like, and I've heard comments about like, oh, it was too disjointed, and like, you know, the middle part was boring. That middle part was very Andor.
Yes.
And that's the type of Star Wars I love.
Me
the
too.
Politics, the inner workings.
And that's what I'm loving about the fucking Bad Batch.
Yeah.
The Bad Batch is giving you all that.
Yep, same stuff. I mean, it's definitely, there's 4 or 5 awesome episodes peppered in with about 10 adventures of the week.
Yeah, but even the adventures of the week in the Bad Batch serve a part in the longer part of the story. You just don't realize it when you're watching it.
Yeah, I mean, I could understand with...
I'm not scratching my ass, I'm scratching my leg.
All right, I thought you were doing a swipe check.
No, I'm just fingering my ass.
But definitely,
beef.
I can understand it was pretty jarring,
Yeah.
you know, going to that, but like, it could have been... It reminded me of Book of Boba Fett when all of a sudden Mando shows up, and you're like, what the hell? I thought I was watching Boba Fett. No, this is great, but... This isn't Mando, but
And I'm now back off the fence.
yeah,
I was on that fence of like, oh, Grogu's going to be the one who, you know, is the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But now I'm watching, I'm going, fucking Bo-Katan, this is the way.
yeah,
She kept her helmet on. She's like, and she's been searching, and I think her long game is to be the ruler of Mandalore. And now
Yeah.
that she knows that the mythosaur is under the living waters, and nobody else knows, you know, she's gonna start to be like, hey, let's ride the mythosaur. And I think she's gonna turn around and be
yeah. I
Top
mean,
dog
if
here.
you get into, you know, if you were into like Rebels and Clone Wars and stuff, you do realize she did rule Mandalore at one
Right.
point, but she never earned the Darksaber.
Right.
It was handed to her from Sabine, and it
Yes.
was like, you have to win that shit in battle.
yeah.
Which she's been clamoring for that Darksaber ever since.
But I think this is her opportunity, and like, because there's other ways to get the Darksaber. it doesn't have to be through battle. I don't think it has to be through battle, because if she can ride the Mythosaur and unite Mandalore, she can earn the Darksaber through that.
Now that I don't know. All I know is from, like Din tried to give Bo-Katan the Darksaber. He's like, I don't want this responsibility here. And they were like, no. She's like, I can't take it unless I win it from you.
Right. But I think the armor is going to find out, because the armor seems to know, she seems to know everything.
Yeah.
And I think at some point Bo-Katan will probably confide in her or ask her about the Mythosaur, what she knows, and we'll get a whole tale, not a hotel, about that, because that episode ended with, Bo-Katan being welcomed into the family, and then staring at the skull on the wall, going like, "Hey."
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a surprise. Like, I didn't even think about that when the armorer was like, "You bathed in the waters of." Have you shown your face since then? No. No. Well, then.
Have you removed your helmet since then? No.
Then you're redeemed, and I was like, "Wait, yeah, she is redeemed." Yeah. And so now she's definitely. I mean, personally, I think she has.
Do you want to get on the mystical side of all this? Because I wonder too if like part of that is the reason that I don't know that he fell. I think he was pulled down.
Could have been,
because there's no way he wouldn't have been of enough like sense to be like, oh, I'm falling. Let me hit my jetpack and go up.
Yeah,
but the Mythosaur pulls him down because to get Bo-Katan in the water.
Oh, okay.
To redeem herself.
Theory time.
I love these fun little like so far fetched that. But
and you
that's
never
the
know.
fun of it.
You never know. Yeah, and like I said, he dropped like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah.
Like
I thought he was pulled. I didn't think he fell. I thought he was like something in the water freaking grabbed him and tentacle pulled him. But
and he had no idea. He was just like, I just went under. So yeah, I mean, I definitely. So that you got that, and then in the middle with the doctor, which I thought was so. I mean, I love when they show that they're taking these people from the Empire, these important scientists and stuff. And you get to see, just like in kind of real life, that, red, blue, it doesn't matter. It's all the same.
Yep.
Like, and I so felt bad for that guy. Like, he, obviously he was the scientist who wanted, let me see the baby.
Don't kill him. Don't hurt him.
Yeah. He didn't want to, and then he gets ousted. Then he goes to Moff Gideon. Now that gets destroyed. Now he's in this amnesty program, which is great. It's like, oh, we're going to take the important people, but we're not going to let them do the thing that they're really good at.
It's very World War II Operation Paperclip.
Yep. And it felt like he was on parole. He had to go to that robot. It was like, are you unhappy with any of your coworkers? Are you unhappy with the New Republic?
No.
And just they make it sound like, and then all the big wigs, they're like, oh, Empire, it's all, whatever to me,
Well, one of the shows I watched pointed out the fact that, like, him getting up and giving that speech and all those people talking to him afterwards, that was all posturing for, like, what they used to do in ancient Rome, where when the Romans would conquer a place, they'd bring the leader over and have them give a whole speech to the, to Rome and to the Romans, saying, like, this is what our country is going to bring to the wealth of the Roman Empire, and basically make them say, like, look, you conquered us, but we're buying into this too.
Yeah, and it was just and it goes to show too. I mean, the doctor, like, in reality, he just wanted to help.
Yeah,
because he has this cloning tech, and everybody's so freaking against cloning because all that stuff, and it's like, no, look, we could use cloning to, like, harvest organs and, save people's lives and stuff like that. And like, no, you're going to put in all this data into this machine so we can destroy it because, why not?
What else are we going to do?
Yeah, and they make it sound like everything. And like even with the calamari, with the mind flare. Oh, this is like, he knows what a mind flayer is. I mean, he freaking, he was in the Empire. And they dress as like, no, this is going to be great. Like,
oh my God. And when he turns to that one guy and goes, no, this is a trap.
Yeah.
I was like,
who didn't see that coming? Yeah. But, where the calamari guy was just like, no, it's going to be fine. We're going to keep it on.
I had this myself.
Yeah, I had this myself.
And it was wonderful.
Yeah. And so they just play it as it's like, no, we're not using this. They're very,
they're doing the same shit.
We're going to give you amnesty, but we're also going to make you do remedial. Like, it reminded me of freaking what's his nuts in Andor. where he got demoted and he got sat in the cubicle and he's just doing his stuff and he's like,
Yep.
I'm a fucking scientist.
Oh, and then when she pulls that fucking yellow biscuit out of her pocket.
Oh, yeah.
What a bitch.
Oh, she is. And then
She is one cold motherfucker.
And then one thing, too, like when you're watching it and they're like, oh, thank you so much for apprehending this guy. And she's just like, okay. She's like, do you mind if I stay? He's a friend. And the people are like, sure, we'll leave you alone. Person who used to be in the Empire near a dial. Now, I'm not one of those types that has to nitpick everything, but I was just kind of like, wow, they're real trusting, these idiots. Like, they're just like...
Now, do you wonder if she's going to play a much bigger part in the entire Star Wars universe?
I don't know.
I had this, like, wild, crazy-ass fantasy that she's Kylo Ren's bitch.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
His side piece.
Side piece, yeah. You never know. Those Knights of Ren.
She's
Kylo
Ren's Padme.
Oh, there you go.
There's just something about it. I'm like that. Because why else would she be doing all this unless she knows what the grander plan is, and that's all the First Order coming to power.
Yeah, they're slowly built, and that's what I love watching it too. Is that we've never really got the
ready. You know how Kylo was like all and goes back and goes bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
It's all for that piece.
I don't know though.
I don't know the timeline where this fits, but
this is after Jedi.
Right.
The First Order is not a thing yet.
Okay.
Now Kylo Ren becomes. Luke knows he has evil in him, so
Right.
Luke is gonna be like, I'm gonna take this guy out.
Right.
And then Kylo Ren's like, fuck you, I'm gonna freaking take over. But he does kind of snap. I don't know, but she could definitely be somewhere in there. But yeah, she is just, man, that is talk about the long game.
Yeah.
And then when they go take the train.
But that's what you're talking about. That long game is what you love. It's that the politics, the leading you along, the story, and then that eventual payoff and the betrayal is part of that politics of the Star Wars.
Yeah, and also the fact that the Empire, First Order, whatever, they always play the long game.
Oh, yes.
Fucking Palpatine. goddamn 9 things,
Decoded the intel from the First Order spy. Somehow Palpatine returned. I thought you were dead.
I know. It always comes down to Palpatine, that unlimited power. It's just...
live in space.
But they hide in the shadows. That's why I love... Look, I even told Kylo Ren myself when I was at Star Wars. He goes, wait, I got to do my... hold on here.
I used to do this all the time with my daughters. You, sir, are you light side or dark side?
Dark side, baby. He goes...
Proceed.
And then he goes,
okay, you're allowed. Take the picture.
I haven't been there. Someday.
Oh, it's so good. We'll go one day.
I might cry.
Yeah.
Stop.
But, yeah, man, I just, another, and Bad Batch, the Omega level, I wanted her to get wiped out with the freaking...
Yeah.
But I also, what it was? It was a good story. It was the Omega level, surprisingly, wasn't that bad.
No.
But at the same time, I thought to myself, because they're like, well, we're gonna stay around here for a while. And I'm like, good. You should freaking leave Omega on this planet and go do your thing. Why is this young girl hanging out with a bunch of old guys?
And then come back for it at some point and give us a time jump where she's not so fucking annoying.
Yeah, or just let her hang out on the island. Everybody's happy. She gets a life instead of like flying in a ship with a bunch of older freaking clones.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what she wants to do. She wants to shoot her bow and arrow. Are you full?
Me? I have a drinking problem.
I'm sorry, I must be full.
No, it's the mustache. It gets in my mustache, and I come down, it just goes out of it.
Flavor saver. Good stuff. So, yeah, Bad Batch, we didn't really miss that much.
No. Well, I did. I watched about 3/4 of it. So
yeah, it was all right. It was good. It was another part of the. It wasn't a Crosshair episode. It was
Did we mention on air that I talked about how it's like basically fucking Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade? Not Last Crusade.
Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom.
Yes. Well, we didn't say it on air.
No, like that whole thing at the beginning where they're sitting there doing the trade, and she's like, "I don't like poison." It's that scene right out of the beginning of Indiana Jones except she doesn't drink the poison like he did.
Yeah, like we were saying, she should have been like, oh, let's celebrate. She goes, I saw Temple of Doom, motherfucker. I ain't one drinking this.
Fucking Wanda Sykes, man. I didn't think I was gonna like her as a voice in the show, but I'm like, I'm in for it.
Her voice is all right. I like when she was in Clerks too. Did he say what I think he said? Sounds like some pretty crazy white boy stuff to me. You want to do a cock stain?
Holy shit!
He
Damn.
calls him a cock stain, and she's like, "What did you say?" He goes,
Cock stain.
"Freaking earthquake's like." Sounds like some crazy white shit to me. You want to do a cock stain?
So that was all. Is that all the TV we got?
I think so.
I think we got to move on to.
Ham.
It's time for Greg's music
Yeah.
Tits indeed.
That's right. Breasts.
It's time for music.
So a little bit of news.
Let's see if any of these your new musics have I seen. So
Yeah, there really wasn't that much on the new music front. I did post 2 things on our Facebook page. I mean, we were alluding to the fact that we're both desperately trying to get Cure tickets. I did the whole
whose dick do I got to suck to get Cure tickets?
Seriously, and the tickets are not that expensive.
But the only tickets I saw when we were talking, because I didn't get the pre-sale, but then I was like, oh, you're on the wait list. And look, you're off the wait list. Here's your code. And I was like, cool. And I go, it's like the 2 fucking sections all the way up top, off behind the stage. Like right off. So you're looking at the back corners of the stage, and that's it. And single tickets only.
Wow.
And Kate was like, well, we can get single tickets and just not stick. I was like, I'm not paying $100 to sit behind Robert Smith and look at his ass. His ass is not that good.
Yeah, Robert Smith is starting to look like my aunt.
Yeah.
At this point. But, man, I've never we talked about me missing the Cure. And I'm like, oh, I wanted to take Violet. Violet, if you're still listening, we talked about going to the Cure. I was going to get her a ticket. But it was just, I was bummed about that.
And apparently in music news, I don't know if you're going to touch on this, Robert Smith's really pissed about all the fucking fees that Ticketmaster is charging the fans for the tickets.
Yeah, and that's why they did this whole little rigmarole about the lottery and all that stuff like that, because he's,
But they added all these fucking fees on. He's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Because they didn't have the flex price, the demand pricing. That's some bullshit, that the more demand there is for the tickets, the higher the price are going to go.
Oh, yeah. Even AMC is doing that now, where preferred seats.
Oh, my God, I saw that. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? That's when I buy, the 2 seats next to it, and when nobody sits in those preferred seats, I just move my ass over.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But, yeah, I'm kind of bummed about that. Hopefully it'll open up a little bit. But, yeah, a lot of different shows are going on. The 2 things I had in the music news is talk about the Cure. Love and Rockets are playing some more U.S. concerts. All on the West Coast, though.
Man.
Yeah. Now, here's a question. This might be a little hot take.
Uh-oh. I don't have a hot take.
Bauhaus or Love and Rockets? You have to choose. Which one you like better?
Shit.
Right? I was just thinking about that. I'm like, I love Peter Murphy. I like his solo stuff
You know
more
what?
than
I'm going to have
Bauhaus.
to go Love and Rockets.
Me too. I mean, Earth, Sun, Moon. That right there.
Right there.
That's the one. But, yeah, that was the other band from The Cure that I missed when I had appendicitis. But
Sorry, I was just thinking about all the things I've done while listening to that album. Go ahead.
God, yeah.
Anyway, I
Seriously.
digress.
There's a lot of DNA that got dropped there.
I won't be standing up for a little bit.
Well, I mean, that's why I love The Cure. I mean, I lost my virginity during listening to Disintegration. I didn't get past Plain Song, but that was about it.
Oh, damn. Probably further than I've ever gotten.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, that's a long song, if anybody's picking on me. But, yeah, Love and Rockets to play some more shows in the U.S. Right now, I think it's just on the East Coast. Yeah,
Okay.
Pasadena, Salt Lake City,
East
Seattle.
Coast, West Coast, you mean?
West Coast, yes.
We're on the East Coast. You got me a little filled up on that one.
Yeah, I know. I wish it was East Coast.
And not to rub salt in the wound, but, dude, The Cure
Yeah,
with Love and Rockets.
yeah.
That was the show you missed. And the Pixies.
Yeah, well, I did see the Pixies on the Doolittle tour.
Right,
so.
but that show that you didn't get to go to because your appendix decided, I'm going to pop,
Yeah.
was Shelley and Orphan, which was a great band.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was the Pixies, then Love and Rockets, and then The Cure.
Yeah, so it's definitely becoming like our early 90s,
Oh, yeah.
More like late 80s
Yeah.
childhood, between The Cure, Love and Rockets. Susie Sue's got to get over here. They're all teasing, like, we're just going to play a couple shows on the West Coast. But I always have hope, because I remember when I saw Faith No More, when they reunited, they said, we're going to play one show in Brooklyn, one show in Los Angeles. That's it. Okay. Next thing you know, new album, new tour, touring again. So it's like, and Love and Rocket, it's sad because they were going to do Bauhaus, but Peter Murphy's back in rehab, poor guy. But I
Get
was
his
just
shit
kinda
together.
but it's like, look, what's the worst that can happen? Love and Rockets? Okay, I'll take it.
I'll take it.
That's basically Bauhaus without Peter Murphy. So that was another one. Another one that I saw recently, and I had no idea this was coming out. There is a documentary called Personality Crisis, One Night Only. Oh. It is all about Buster Poindexter and the New York Dolls.
Whoa.
And he performs. It's shot by Martin Scorsese.
Whoa.
Yeah. Ron Howard is producing it. And if you watch the trailer, I put the trailer on the Hey Pal, What's New? And I just, it got mentioned on, Slicing Up Eyeballs or something like that. And I was like, wait, this is coming out? They're gonna only show it one night on Showtime or Paramount.
What's it called?
It is called Personality Crisis. It's a documentary where he performs. He performs all his songs. It's a documentary about the life of, they go into the New York Dolls. They have a lot of archival footage, and he performs these songs with his new band. And then they talk about the Buster Poindexter thing. David Johansen is a freaking legend.
Wow.
It looks amazing, and you got Scorsese freaking doing it. I mean, what more could you ask for? So those are the two things that really stuck out at me because, really, new music-wise. Wasn't a ton of stuff.
Dude, I saw something that's sort of new, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, my God, what a piece of shit this was. I don't know lm.org, but it's lm.org.
Light My Fire?
Yeah. Why would you? By lm.org with Jim Morrison and what is that? Nice Natives?
Yeah, I don't, there's...
And they credit Jim Morrison because they're sampling him doing the chorus, but I was like, what a fucking piece of shit what the hell is this? Why? I know they re-released, I don't mean to cut you off on
No, not at all.
I know they re-released some remastered Pink Floyd stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Money.
Yes.
I was listening to that. I don't know what's different about it. I feel like it got cut off and shortened in one part to make it more radio friendly, it feels like. But I don't hear much different. Maybe some of the recording is different, but what I was impressed with new music. And if you want to hear it, you let me know.
I do want to hear it. Lay it on me there, Jackson Brown.
Oh, I gotta get it.
Actually, mine is a little bit different. While you're looking for it, I'll just mention some stuff that's been out. Like we said, there's a lot of people redoing stuff. Like Death Cab for Cutie is doing a lot of songs acoustic, and it's like U2 has that album that's Songs of Surrender, which is basically just redone of their classics. It's like, let's just keep churning that stuff out.
Well,
but yeah, a lot of stuff is re-releases and stuff. The Black Crowes has a live album. You're like,
cares?
Okay, Deicide put out, an expanded edition. The only new thing that I saw, there's also Depeche Mode came out with another single, My Cosmos Is Mine.
Okay.
Still, we need Fletch. I'm sorry. I can't. Killing Joke has got stuff out. The one that I put on the playlist, I put two songs on the playlist, both by one is Something Old, Something New. Believe it or not, my name is Greg, and I'm confessing that the new Miley Cyrus album.
Oh yeah,
is really good.
Really good.
Yeah, well, this album that she put out, I think it's called Endless Summer Vacation. I did put one song in there, Jaded, which is funny because that was a POS song. But that song was really good. It's, she broke up with the Hemsworth. They got divorced, and this is it's very mellow kind of, but they're still everybody goofs on she could sing, man.
Oh, yeah.
She really can. And she's done, I like, her pop kind of stuff. So, I love that album she did with the Dead Pets. The one with the I keep wanting to sing the Happy Mondays, but I put Do It on the playlist. I love that song. No small pot. Do it. Da, da, da. Not Afghan Wigs. God damn it. Do you realize? I'll think of it later. Anyway, no, that album, Miley Cyrus and Dead Pets, really experimental. This one, it's got a little bit of rock to it, but it's kind of like, you know, the album's called Endless Summer Vacation. So it's just kind of like, you know, kind of laid back, but like the lyrics, if you listen to them, they're really like.
I have to give it a listen. You put it on the playlist?
I put Jaded on there and I put Do It.
Well, I like when you put something on there and you're like, the whole album's good, so give it a listen. I listen to one song, you just tap it, it takes you to the album. So
Yeah, because I just try to, you know, I don't want to put the whole album on there. You just kind of put little spaces on there. But yeah, everything else was just kind of like, you know, I mean, there's so much stuff. The Damned came out with a new song. That's really good. So, listen, kids, if you go out there, you know, support, you know, we always talk about the Sack of Sin people, but like there's a lot of good music out there. You just got to find it, you know, or get on that algorithm.
Meow, meow.
Memories indeed, everybody. So, well, like I said, we are going to really ramp it up. The first show was a success, so, you know, get ready for SOSS2. You know, SOSS2. We're going to have a lot of bands. Summer's coming up, so if you want to get involved, you know, we got a ton of people that listen to the podcast and join Sack of Sin. So, yeah, I think we did it, my friend.
We did.
Yeah, so everybody enjoy your St. Pat. Not one person sent a goddamn picture of them hitting them in the face with corned beef.
I'll show you my fucking corned beef when the Eagle Fair.
That's right.
It looks like a fucking roast beef rolled on a barbershop floor.